What's up, guys? Welcome back to Callahan Media. My name is Lex. Today, we're going to be taking a look at another trailer from the upcoming DCU from DC Studios and James Gunn. This particular show is Peacemaker Season 2. Now, if you guys aren't aware, Peacemaker follows the character of Peacemaker himself, played by John Cena. He's a little bit more of a comedic character, super violent, super adult and crude humor. And I think that it's really interesting to know that out of the old DCEU regime, the Snyder era, this show was supposed to tie into that as it did, because in the first season, in the season finale, the original Justice League from Zack Snyder's Justice League showed up. Well, really from the Justice League movie showed up. Today, we're going to be taking a look at this trailer from season 2. This show has been taken from that universe, and somehow James Gunn has alluded to it and said that it's supposed to somehow fit in both universes, but, we'll have to see how that is. So I haven't checked this out, so let's go. Let's check it out. Let's watch the trailer. I love her as a supporting actress. She's so funny.
Welcome, Peacemaker, or do you prefer Chris?
Okay, so immediately right off the bat, we can see, I think that's Maxwell Lord. Yeah, okay, so we got Maxwell Lord in the center here. We got Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner on the right side, which is interesting to see that we jump straight into this DC Extended Universe. I think that it's very kind of creative for Gunn to do that, but in order to pull the story arc off, it's going to be very interesting to see how he pulls this off. And obviously we have, low in the lower left corner, we have Isabella Merced's Hawkgirl. So let's keep going.
I'm considered the finest marksman in the world.
Finest marksman in the world.
And also
Not true.
pushing
Deadshot.
How many more of these do we have today?
Is that popcorn still here?
You love popcorn.
My budget's getting
Guy Gardner is always such a character.
Variety of helmets. This guy sucks.
Variety of helmets, yeah, he does.
Supposed to be able to hear you guys. Excuse me? You were talking about your butt and stuff. Also, you said that I suck.
All right, that's classic James Gunn humor. Classic James Gunn humor.
I don't get it. We saved the world.
I love how the soundtrack kind of adds to the overall element of the show.
I don't need anybody else to just go.
She's hot.
You're living in the worst level of Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, James Gunn's wife.
You suffer from a particularly severe
Cheers, guys.
toxic masculinity.
What?
Of course she does.
Peacemaker ever since Rick Flag Sr. was named director.
That's Rick Flag Sr., the man himself. They got fully kitted ARs, porta barrels, okay?
You're out that house. Pony boy, don't let him out of your sight. Titties, I want you to take
Titties is crazy.
You take the back door. Not the fucking names, dude. You can't just call us that. Where do you think we are? Fucking Berkeley?
Like, thank you, bro. Like, dude, the shit's funny, man.
I've been always
Okay.
people.
Some actual acting from James Gunn's wife this time around, okay?
No one will ever break us apart.
Dude, he's always in his fucking underwear naked or something. Vigilante, one of my favorite aspects. Okay.
The next adventure comes.
Dear God, I love his eagle, dude. So, guys, that looks... Dude, I told you, he's always missing, like, an article of clothing. Oh, what the fuck? Wait a minute, wait a goddamn minute. Let's go back to that in there. Hold on a minute. Oh, that's how he's gonna do it. That's how he's gonna do it, guys. Okay, I've been wondering. So this particular show, it's been one of those shows that's kind of, like I told you, it's an overall, like, kind of standover from the previous regime of DC, the DCU universe. So now it's very clear that there's two John Cenas here. So now I'm wondering if James Gunn's plan, in order to successfully integrate this character, because there was a lot of lore from Peacemaker in the first season, that overall contributed to the narrative of the previous universe. There was stuff about, him and Deadshot's dealings and a bunch of other stuff. A lot of information that came out in the Suicide Squad film, which I'm not sure is canon. I'll have to look in that for a later video. Maybe I'll revisit that. But so he's definitely going to go with like a whole Deadpool kills the Marvel universe kind of thing, like having Peacemaker come into this environment. Now, the interesting thing about the shot in particular is it doesn't actually allude to which Peacemaker in this shot is the regular one. I'm thinking it's John Cena because he was walking in his underwear. There's no reason that. But this begs to differ, or leads you to wonder, where exactly and how exactly did Peacemaker get transported into this new DCU cinematic universe? So James Gunn definitely seems like he's cooking here. I wish that, as far as the marketing is concerned, he would do a little bit less talking. I'd like him to let the character speak for himself a little bit more, but I think that he's going for, like I said, a more crude take. Oh, excuse me, guys. Which I think that also is one of those things where, the DC and the Marvel Cinematic Universes have always had two distinct differences. DC is particularly known for being a little bit more dark and gritty, especially from a comic perspective. Like some of those Batman comics, like The Dark Knight Returns and all that stuff, super dark. The Killing Joke's super dark. Under the Red Hood's super dark. We're gonna go. Any other comics, dude, Absolute, all of the Absolute comics that are going out DC right now, super dark. Marvel's always had a little bit more of a comic, more of a scientific, quote unquote, I guess, approach to their storytelling. I don't know. I think we'll see, but I think that one thing James Gunn is definitely doing right in this DCU moving forward is he's definitely seeming to integrate and up the caliber of humor. It's not going to be all shitty, corny jokes. I'm hoping at least there's a little bit stuff that kind of pushes the line. Because personally, comedy, as far as I'm concerned, a lot of my favorite comedians they're all kind of divisive. They say shit that a lot of people shouldn't be allowed to say, and that's kind of the point of comedy. So I mean, hey, if there's anything that I think James Gunn's got going right, it's just we're not going to take kiddie jokes anymore. At least we're going to up them up to at least a PG-13, maybe at our level. So overall, I like this trailer. I'm interested to see. I'm going to have to go back and watch the first season. Not that it ties into this at all, but just to kind of get a feel for character as Peacemaker. Because like I said, in Suicide Squad film, he was a very, very, very different character. He wasn't very different. He's pretty much the same, but he was in a very, very different setting for this particular character. So, awesome, dude. I'm probably going to do a couple more reviews. I'm going to drop these as often as I can. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Again, my name is Lex from Callahan Media. If you guys like this video, please drop a like, subscribe, make sure you turn the bell on for more notifications. And if you guys like my takes, if you hate them, if you love them, feel free to drop a comment. I love hearing from anybody, any of my viewers. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you watching the video, and we'll see you next time.